Alrighty, it's a beautiful spring Saturday, and so that means it's time for What I Read. I'm chilling here right in the man cave, so let's jump inside and see the latest book in my life. This is a special one because the author of this book will very soon be featured as a guest on London Real. Actually, the very first guest with our new studio. So it's actually super exciting, and we'll give you some time to prepare for that guest. And that is none other than Mr. David Allen. And here's his book called Getting Things Done, and it is an impressive piece of work. David has been doing this since the 80s. I think he's actually now in his early 70s right now, but he's spry like a 50-year-old, which gives guys like me some hope as we get a bit older. But my point would be is that he's been working on this for like 30, 40 years, the entire methodology. And at first, when you hear that title, Getting Things Done, you might think, well, this is great if I'm in the corporate world or, you know, I'm in some type of a project management type style. But, you know, David is actually a really fascinating, almost a Zen type dude. He's a martial artist, has his black belt in karate. He's given 2 different TED Talks, one where he throws a karate punch out, and it's pretty epic. And he is just a classic. He's like the turtleneck blazer type guy. It reminds me of almost like an American professor. But he really has a methodology, and it's really about getting things out of your head so A, they get done, but B, so you're not constantly beating yourself up for not getting things done. And that means that when you're spending time with your family or you're spending time relaxing, you're not constantly stressing about the things that you need to get done. Because he says our mind is actually a very good planner, but when it comes to reminding and keeping all of these things on our brain at once, we're really bad at that. And so what he talks about is the basic form, which is getting everything out of your brain and onto a piece of paper. It's like the most basic form, and you'll see during the episode, he pulls out his little paper book and he flips it open and he shows things he was jotting down, and he was like, oh, the great wine that I did, and I got to do this, and I got to do this. And so constantly getting your thoughts out and onto some type of paper, even a whiteboard. You see a lot of tech startups do that. There's a reason to that. It's more than just communicating with others. It's actually a way of dumping it out of your brain. And it's funny, I realized that I do this a lot myself. I send myself emails all the time, and I was actually out at Brixton Academy the other night with my gal, and we were watching the Wombats, and I sent myself an email, and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I just had an idea, and I send myself emails all the time, so later when I get to work, I can remember it and process it. But until I met David, I didn't realize that when I do that, I actually get it out of my brain, so I'm not trying to juggle that in my brain along with 10 of the things that I need to get done. So it's funny, it solves multiple purposes when you do that kind of a brain dump. It gets your mind kind of cleared so you can start to really think about other things. And it's just a fascinating way of looking at the process of how you continue to get things done. And David goes on to it even more. I'm actually listening to him on Audible right now. There's like a 6-hour block, which I'll put on a link below. It's not the actual book, and it's just him walking through the methodology. And, you know, it's about getting things out, and then getting them on a list of things, not just a to-do list, but a bit more structured than that, and then deciding very specific action items that you have to do against each one, and then also having like a weekly review where you kind of take a step back, go a little bit higher, not like a 10,000 foot look, but like a little bit higher, and you see the forest and not just the trees, and you try to prioritize the things that need to happen, and then you can kind of go back down to what they call the coal face and get things done like in the immediate. And so really impressed with David. Man, he's been around forever, and he's been sworn by everyone. And I really didn't know much about David until a few months ago when I booked him as a guest. But I mean, this guy's no joke. You know, he has over 1 million Twitter followers for a reason, and because he's got real believers, solid Fortune 500 guys, very famous people that use his methodology. And on top of that, I got to sit down and talk to him for an hour and 20 minutes in our brand new studios. So excited, you know, to drop that episode. He's just got a real Zen quality. He's actually a really Zen guy because he's all about getting things done. Isn't necessarily about doing the project or doing the deal. It's just about all the things in life we have to get done, things with your family, this kind of thing. And once you get them out of your brain, you can actually be quieter and more present in your mind and relax. And so it's really fascinating the more and more I listen, and I'm going to have all of the team here at London Real listen to this book as part of our corporate culture, because I want everyone really to start thinking about how we get things done and what's the methodology. So It's fantastic. Definitely something to check out. It's going to change my life. I think this episode will probably change your life as well. And it's such a nice distillation of who David is and some of his personal stuff too. Because, you know, I like to do that on London Real. Get kind of the man behind the man and find out. So I think it's going to be a huge hit this episode. And I think it's going to give people a lot of great information. And again, the book is a fantastic read, and I'm really taking the time. I'm so lucky sometimes because I get to sit down with guys like him or Robert Kiyosaki or Guy Kawasaki, and then I read their books with like more depth because I've actually met them and listened to them and checked them out. So there you go. I will be diving further into this book and talking about the way that I am constructing my daily list, my weekly list, and my monthly list per David Allen's instructions. I'm covering that on at London Real Academy on our book club section. Thanks so much for the feedback from the video I posted last week about the long tail, and there'll be some more action items in the Academy, so you'll make these changes in your life. So thanks so much. I'm getting such great feedback about that. We just streamed our first live episode straight to the Academy on Friday with Joe the Juicer, a very powerful guy, and you know, it's just a great perk as being one of our premium members. So thanks so much to you guys for that, and more of these coming. Please let me know what you think of this review. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what book you'd like me to review or pushing forward, which ways you'd like me to go. I'm going to probably be reviewing guests that we have coming up, books, just because it kind of makes it fun, and then you can feel them drop, but they'll be dropping soon. So there you go. That's what I read, and I'll keep dropping these as long as you guys keep loving them. Get a book, get some new ideas, listen on Audible if you have to, but just get these new things in your brain and then try them out on your own. You can't just learn an idea, you have to go apply it to your life, and that's what I want out of everyone at London Real, is that once you listen to that motivational person, take an action item, because we want to make you accountable here, and that's kind of what, you know, the Academy is really about, accountability. So there you go. Much love and peace from the Man Cave.